Collier-Wise.
Here.
Erickson.
Here.
Holland.
Here.
Humphrey.
Here.
Mines.
Here.
Price.
Here.
Sorensen.
Here.
Ward.
Here.
Mayor Powell.
Here. Would everyone please stand for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Third item on our agenda is
the minutes from July 18th, July 8th, special meeting, regular meeting, and then also a joint special meeting with Clay County Commissioners. We have a motion to approve.
second.
Motion and a second to approve the minutes of the 3 meetings. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Adoption of the agenda. John, Mike, any changes to the agenda that you're aware of?
Move adoption of the agenda. Second.
Motion and a second to adopt the agenda as printed. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item 5, under visitors to be heard. Addressing the council. Persons addressing the council shall use the microphone at the podium. Please raise your hand to be recognized, go to the podium, and state your name and address. For items that are not on the agenda, members of the public may speak under visitors to be heard on any topic not on the agenda. Remarks are limited to 5 minutes, and no decision will be made at this time. For agenda items, public testimony will be taken at the beginning of each agenda item after the subject has been announced by the mayor and explained by staff. Any citizen who wishes may speak one time for 5 minutes on each agenda item. Public testimony will then be closed and the topic will be given to the governing body for possible action. At this point, only city council members and staff may discuss the current agenda item unless a council member moves to allow another person to speak and there's unanimous consent from the council. Questions from council members, however, may be directed to staff or a member of the public through the presiding officer at any time. At this point, Jim, would you come forward?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. Well, I either have the largest civics class you had in the summertime here, or I have some special visitors here with us tonight. The Vermillion Parks and Recreation works with numerous sports organizations throughout the community. And tonight is one of those times that I would like to recognize 2 different sports associations. One being the Vermillion Baseball Association and the Vermillion Fast Pitch Association. Tonight in your presence you have 2 state champions from the U12 Reds baseball team, which is the under-12 state VFW tournament there, and the U14 under-14 girls state B champions. Tonight I have manager of the Little Reds, Mr. Jeff Kratz, will come up here, and coaches Carter Kratz and Nate Robinson. I would like them to introduce the players to you and just share their feat tonight for a moment.
Thank you, Jim.
Jeff.
Thank you for taking the time to have us here in recognition for our accomplishment. But a little bit about Vermillion baseball. I played here, I played for USD, and Vermillion baseball has always not been just how you act on the field, it's how you act off the field. It's post-1 baseball, it's good sportsmanship, and along with that is we have the most beautiful facilities and atmosphere to play anywhere, and it's very important to us. And also when Jim's first year here, we hosted the 13-14 state tournament with these 2 gentlemen here, and we came away champions. But if you ask anyone, it was one of the better run, coolest venues that they've played in. And same when we host Wood Bat for Post-1 Legion Ball. And Prentice just continues to be an outstanding place to play, along with Barstow and everything else. You always count on things running smooth, and it's just very conducive to what we want to do with Vermillion baseball, both on and off the field. The kids take a lot of pride in it, and it's a family. The 3 of us here, I assisted in the Legion in high school. These boys have helped me. We also have 2 other post-1 baseball players who coach the 9-10s to a 2nd place finish, but we spent a lot of time together this summer, and it's just a great thing. And I count on, it's really enjoyable to be around the state, and all you hear is good things about Vermillion when we host. and just the great atmosphere, the great people, and that's what we hope to bring also to the community. That's how we'd like to give back, and we definitely appreciate it. And I have a certificate of appreciation here for the Parks and Rec Department as a whole, and also for Jim. And it's presented to Vermillion Parks and Recreation Department for its hard work, dedication, and devotion to Vermillion baseball. On behalf of the Vermillion Baseball Association, the parents and players at all levels, we would like to say thank you for your support. Special recognition and gratitude is extended for the outstanding job in organizing and running the 2016 State VFW 12U tournament. Your success shines a great light on Vermillion baseball and our entire community. And the folks at Parks and Rec do a great job from T-ball all the way through high school. We've been working together now for almost 5 months, and it's just been great. So, thank you, Joe. I'll have these two gentlemen introduce our team here. Let me start mine up. What do you guys call?
Leading off, Devin, Easton Brooks. Behind him at second base is Will Robertson. And third, Jack Kratz. Connor, and the next Connor Saunders. Jake Jensen. No, it was Maddie. Ben. Verlock. And Jay Goldbush. And Reese Profrock. And Mark. And Clayton Sorensen. TJ. And TJ Tracy's name. Thank you guys.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you, young men, for representing our community so well.
Thank you, Mr. Kratz, for that those kind words. Well, not that girls are better than boys, but we have also a great accomplishment by the U14 young ladies in this room. Not only were they the state champions, but they were offered an opportunity to go to a national tournament last week in Overland Park, Kansas, and tied for 5th place in the nation. So we're very, very proud of them. Tonight we have Stacy Badke and Cassie Evans. If you guys could come up here, share a little bit about your group, and introduce the girls to us, please.
First of all, thank you for having us here tonight. It's truly an honor to be here and get recognized for these girls' accomplishments this season. I'm not sure where to start with these girls, but they have a lot of good things that need to be said about them. First of all, they've shown so much character throughout the whole season, through everything that they've been through, as far as starting with me as their new coach and Cassie as their new coach, all the way through their last game at Nationals. They were on board with working hard, being dedicated, and getting better every day, and most importantly, having fun. One of our goals at the beginning of the season was to get better every single day at practice and at games, and we were able to see that even throughout the state tournament. Our state tournament was held in Sioux Falls, and we were able to see improvements there, not only physically but mentally. We had an unfortunate injury that was season ending, and it was our starting third baseman, and she was out for the rest of the tournament. So we had to come up with a new lineup, and change players around, and they could have either, said, we're done with this and not be able to go along and win it, but they come together as a team and did an amazing job, and they ended up beating Dakota Valley twice to get the state title and earn their trip to nationals in Overland Park, Kansas. So we got down to nationals last Wednesday, and from the moment we got there, it was just a good feeling all around. The girls were having fun, and especially Emma Brinkman. The first thing she says to me when I get there was, "Oh my gosh, this is so fun." So it was a great atmosphere and a great place to be, and they truly enjoyed it. There's a lot of good memories that were made there, from beginning of trading pins to trading presents to our quirky superstitions. For example, coaches having to match every game, putting your shampoo in the same hand when you take a shower, using the same pen. Mind you, it was an SDSU pen. Thank you, Russell. Grabbing balls out of the same bucket every single game, wearing the same scrunchie. Just little things like that made the trip even better. Also, coming from behind in 3 games to win, to continue our playing down there, to the last, finishing in the top 6 teams out of 36. So they definitely have some good memories to keep in mind throughout the rest of their lives. Not knowing, I don't think any of us really know what to expect when we got down there, but they definitely went above and beyond my expectations, and I think Cassie's expectations. They over and over showed us how talented and driven they are. There was many times where they could have given up, but they wanted to make their mark, and I think some of that had to do with some of the questions they got asked down there, such as, where is South Dakota? Or, is that the state close to Canada? Or the last question that I heard was, is that the state with the faces on the rock? I mean, just unbelievable, some of the girls and their questions. So we ended our season with a 34-18 record with 4 ties. And I am so proud of these girls. They've worked so hard throughout the season, and it's truly shown, and I'm honored to be their coach, and I look forward to coaching them throughout their next few years. So, if I can have you all come up and I'll announce you. Okay, Kaylee Brinkman, first base. Macy Winslow, outfield. Peyton Halverson, catcher. Peyton Velick, started outfield, second base, pitcher, third base, a little bit of everything. Emma Brinkman, outfield. Libby Gregg, outfield. Nicole Hauk, outfield. Abby Burbach, outfield. Keely Pasick, outfield. Alicia Lieber, shortstop. Kennedy Goblish, second base and shortstop. Brooke Osmus, third base. Busy Wood, outfield. And Emily Stockwell, pitcher. Thank you, girls. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And young ladies, thank you.
Well, there you go. You have 2 state champions right here in Vermillion. Just like to say thank you for taking your time here tonight to allow us to introduce them to you. The last thing I'd just like to say is that the parents of both groups and all of the associations really showed good sportsmanship throughout the year. That doesn't always happen, but I think that goes from the leadership of those organizations, the Park and Rec, and our expectations and such, and they really did show great sportsmanship throughout the year. Win or lose, it was very nice to see. So thank you again very much.
Thank you, Jim. I think Jim said you have to stay through the whole meeting. Is that? No. Thanks again. Okay, I think we'll continue on, and we have one more. Steve, if you would please read a proclamation for us.
Happily, Jack. I have a mayoral proclamation, Andrew J. Colvin Appreciation Day. Whereas Andy Colvin has been an integral part of the City of Vermillion leadership team since September 2007, and whereas Andy has assisted over 20 different city council members, not me in particular, with unique policy issues such as body piercing, tattoos, mixed martial arts, backyard chickens, as well as more routine items such as website updates, signage, zoning amendments, and planned development districts. And whereas Andy played an important role in the design and transition from the old City Hall to the temporary City Hall to the current City Hall, and continues to oversee the maintenance and care of the City Hall building. And whereas Andy served the Planning Commission as a staff liaison throughout his tenure, assisting this body research and development of a comprehensive plan update, joint jurisdictional zoning, subdivision, and zoning items, and whereas Andy has made a permanent, lasting difference for the community to enjoy for decades through providing staff leadership on projects such as Rodigan Plots, Pocket Park, and streetscape improvements, and whereas Andy updated the personnel manual and assisted numerous past and current employees with his human resources responsibilities for the organization, and whereas Andy has assisted hundreds of citizens and developers with gathering information about Vermillion or answering their questions, and whereas Andy Colvin is leaving the City of Vermillion to undertake a position as Economic Development Director for the City of Norfolk, Nebraska. And now, therefore, we, the governing body of the City of Vermillion, South Dakota, in appreciation and gratitude for all the work Andy has done to make Vermillion a better community, do hereby proclaim August 1st, 2016 as Andrew J. Colvin Appreciation Day, and encourage all citizens to participate in this observance. I don't know how they'll do that, Andy, but I'm sure it'll be something. Dated at Vermillion, South Dakota, this first day of August 2016.
Andy, if you come forward, please.
You know, as if we could take an already difficult day and make it worse. So, no, thank you. Unexpected, and everyone will be missed.
So will you.
Thanks.
Is there anyone in the audience that has a topic that they wish to bring up that isn't on the agenda? Seeing none, council, anyone on the council have anything to bring up? Okay, then we'll move on to item 6, public hearings. Part A, retail on-off sale malt beverage license and retail on-off sale wine license for Fireworks Inc. for Dakota Brick House at 13 and 15 West Main Street. And Mike, please.
An application for a retail on-off sale malt beverage and retail on-off sale wine license were received from Fireworks Incorporated for Dakota Brick House at 13 and 15 West Main. A copy of the notice that was published along with the police chief's report are attached in the city council packet. City council has the ability to issue licenses on the criteria of a suitable person and suitable location. As to suitable person, the owners of Fireworks Incorporated are Jim Waters and Monica Iverson, who are also the owners of Cafe Brûlée. Since these owners already had a license issued to them in the city of Vermillion, background checks were not requested. With respect to the location criteria, the above listed location has had license issued to it previously. The last license there was to Bonnie Rowland for Razelles. The on-off sale malt beverage license, the fee is $300, of which half is retained by the city, and the retail on-off sale wine license is $500, which is all retained by the city. Administration recommend issuance of this license unless other information is present tonight. The only requirement, we'd ask that it be contingent upon the issuance of the final occupancy permit by the building official.
Thank you, Mike. Anyone in the audience wish to comment on this at this point? Seeing none, turn it to the council. Motion is second to approve. Is that contingent upon what Mike said, the passing by the building authority? Is that right, Mike?
The building official occupancy permit, just that they
Is that part of the
completed
motion?
construction.
Okay.
We can't make it contingent on telling us all the secrets of the new place. Just tours.
Did you bring video? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you, Jim. Are you going to let us in on anything yet about?
We're going to open the second. The second that's ready.
Oh. Can we have a recall on this motion? Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
We look forward to your new business.
Thank you. Good night.
Item B is a special daily malt beverage and wine license for Clay County Agricultural Fair Association on August 12 and 13, 2016 at the Clay County Fairgrounds open area. Mike, please.
The Clay County Agricultural Fair Association submitted their application for a special daily malt beverage and wine license for August 12th and 13th in the West Arena for the Demo Derby on Friday night and the Ranch Rodeo on Saturday. The notice of hearing along with the report from the police chief are attached. The fee of $45 has been received. Administration recommend approval of the issuance of the special daily malt beverage and wine license unless additional information is provided at the public hearing.
Thank you, Mike. Anyone in the audience commenting on this item? Seeing none, council?
Move approval. Second.
Motion is second to approve the special daily malt beverage and wine license for the Clay County Agricultural Fair Association on August 12 and 13 at the Clay County Fairgrounds open area. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. We have no old business, so we'll turn to new business, and the first item is the High Street closing August 11 to 14, 2016. And Derek, please.
Well, this is, I believe this is the same street closing request as has been in years past. High Street closing for the Clay County Fairgrounds. The Clay County Agricultural Fair Association requested that High Street be closed along the fairgrounds from Cherry Street to the south end of the fairgrounds from 7 a.m. on Thursday, August 11th until 5 p.m. on Sunday, August 14th. And all residents and businesses affected by the street closure request have been notified. The police, fire, and EMS departments have been notified and have found no safety concerns, and administration recommends authorizing the closure of High Street from Cherry Street to the south end of the fairgrounds from 7 a.m. on Thursday, August 11th to 5 p.m. on August 14th, Sunday, to accommodate for the Clay County Fair.
Thank you, Derek. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to comment on this item? Seeing none, council? Motion is second to approve the High Street closing August 11 to 14. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Oh, yes, please.
All right, just to bring some up too, I had one of the people working on the fair board come up to me and ask if anyone's free on the council on Friday on the 12th at 5 p.m. They're going to have an ice cream social, and they'd like us to volunteer some time to scoop some ice cream and get to know the community. So if you have any free time, and no, we don't have to cook anything, we just have to scoop ice cream. So if you can make it, that'd be great.
Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Okay, item 8B is a resolution relating to Prentice Street lift station improvements and authorizing and directing the issuance of a revenue bond to pay the cost of improvements. And Mike, please.
Just as a little background, back in 2015, Banner and Associates performed an assessment of the Prentice Street lift station and downstream sanitary sewer. The assessment showed the lift station was deteriorating and undersized for future growth in the area with the recommendation to replace the lift station. The City Council approved including the lift station project in the state water plan as the first step in financing for that project. After that, the City Council approved the application for a community development block grant in the amount of $515,000 and a state revolving fund loan for $812,000. We were notified in June that we were approved for the CDBG grant for $515,000, and the Board of Water and Natural Resources approved the SRF loan for $812,000. The resolution contained in the packet was prepared by Doherty and Company, our bond counsel. It has been reviewed by the DENR staff attorney and the city attorney, Jim McCullough. The SRF loan is for 20 years at 3%, with the funds to be provided to the city when we document the expenditures or reimbursement type for the qualifying expenses, being for the lift station. That replacement is estimated at $1,327,000. Administration will recommend approval of the resolution 20 days following the publishing of that. It will become effective to allow us to keep moving forward with this project.
Mike, do we only pay interest on what we use?
Yes.
Again, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone that has a comment on this? Council?
Members, thank you. I'm all for an investment like this in this part of the community. It's a good way to look after our infrastructure and the future, and it's obviously necessary. So with that, I move approval of the resolution.
Thank you, Tom. Motion and a second to approve the resolution relating to Prentice Street Lift Station. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you. Item C, final plat of Lot 1, Block 1, Turner's Addition, southwest corner of Jefferson Street and East Clark Street, to the city of Vermillion, Clay County, South Dakota. Jose, please.
Thank you. Brant Land Surveying submitted a plat on behalf of Mr. Turner, Mr. Roger Turner, for the platting or the subdivision of a lot within Jefferson. There it goes. Of a lot just south of Clark Street and west of Jefferson Street. The current intersection with Jefferson would be roughly about here. Jefferson kind of shoots out right here. The daycare is right here, and some apartment complex or buildings are in this site. This would be the area currently where there's quite a lot of trees growing in that area, and the space where the apartments would be constructed is the area that has been cleared out. This plat would actually plat out roughly 0.4 acres of property, and also dedicate all of the right-of-way on the west side of Jefferson Street. The east side was platted out or dedicated quite a few years ago when Potter's Addition was dedicated as well. This plat was submitted to the Planning Commission. They did review it at their Monday, July 25th meeting. They recommended unanimously approval of the plat. All of the requirements set forth in the subdivision ordinance are met within this. All the easements are being dedicated. The right-of-way has been dedicated. We are working with the property or with Mr. Turner as well to have a developer's agreement. Actually, the developer's agreement has already been signed by them and by the council. So we're kind of waiting on this to actually file it. And after that, then it should be set. The applicant has already paid the platting fee with the city. With all that being said, administration finds that the plat meets all the requirements and asks that the council approve the plat.
Thank you, Jose. Anyone in the audience wish to comment on this? Seeing none, council. Motion and a second to approve the final plat of Lot 1, Block 1, Turner's Addition, southwest corner of Jefferson Street and East Clark Street, to the city of Vermillion, Clay County, South Dakota. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, may I ask a quick question before it sits down? On the extension of this, the dedicated, now that it'd be dedicated, until that's improved and everything, who's responsible for it?
For it, as far as...
Like, is it just going to be dedicated and we don't have to do anything?
It's just going to be dedicated. Yeah, it's not an open street by any means.
Right.
So until the council or the property owners decide to petition to have the street open and actually built, then it's just going to stay the way it is.
That's the stage that we'd have to...
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Moving on to item D, Utilities Committee recommendation on renewing the cable franchise agreement. John, please.
Thank you. Back in September of 1999, the City Council entered into a franchise agreement with the predecessor to our current cable company, Zylstra Communications at that time. It was for a 15-year agreement that included 2 one-year renewals at the request of the council if notification was provided to them, and the council has exercised both of those one-year automatic renewals. We have been, staff has been working with the cable company trying to develop a franchise agreement probably last year at different times. We did present a draft. The city attorney has reviewed it to the Utilities Committee on July 20th. And then the Utilities Committee did make a recommendation to move this item forward. With the way statutes are written, they need to give you their recommendation, they being the Utilities Committee, at one meeting before we could act on it at a future meeting. There are a couple of outstanding language items to be worked out. But in essence, it would be a 10-year franchise agreement. It is not exclusive, just like the current franchise agreement is not exclusive. The changes would include, there are currently provided in our franchise agreement 3 PEG channels, public, education, governmental. This would only have 2 PEG channels going forward, which is, we only have 2 in operation at the current time. It does maintain the current 5% franchise fee that we have. One of the changes that we've had a lot of lengthier discussion with, and then the Utilities Committee made a recommendation, and I visited with Midco about it a little bit more, and I'm pleased to report Midco is agreeable to what the Utilities Committee recommended. They had a requirement that you had to have 15 subscribers within a quarter mile before they would serve it. The Utilities Committee suggested let's reduce that down to 10. In talking with Midco, trading emails this last week, they have agreed to go down to 10 subscribers within a quarter mile would be the tipping point. They'd go in and install infrastructure. If somebody wants to pay for it at their own cost, they certainly can. But that would be the tripping point where it would automatically be required. So that's a few of the larger items. I would envision that we would probably provide maybe a synopsis or get the draft of this out there for the community to take a look at before it be presented to the City Council in probably September for you to act on at that point in time. So the only decision point for the council tonight is, I believe, to accept the recommendation. Mike, would that be the only thing? And then also, I should note here too, that if somebody's within 150 feet, you wouldn't need to have 10 subscribers. If you're within 150 feet of an existing cable line, you don't need to have 10 new people sign up before they'll extend the line over there.
Thank you, John. Anyone in the audience wish to comment on this item? Council, I guess you're being asked to receive the report of the committee.
Can I ask a question?
Certainly.
Just because this has come up a few times, am I correct in that because this is not an exclusive agreement, there would be nothing to stop another cable company from coming in and creating competition?
Correct. They would need to enter into a franchise agreement with the city that would basically have the same terms or the same terms and conditions.
Okay.
One of the problems you have is the infrastructure. Unless they were able to buy it from a current, they'd have to put in their own. I think, isn't that accurate? Okay. Do we have a motion and a second on this yet?
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to accept the committee's report. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you. Item E, presentation. Do we have to do this one? Presentation of the 2017 proposed budget. John.
Well, statutorily, I'm required to present you a budget. What you do with it is entirely up to the council. For those at home, if they're getting a written form, council members are getting a book like this tonight. It's probably a 3-inch binder, or they're getting it electronically. And I apologize if electronically hasn't shown up yet. That's my fault in trying to send it. Jen will fix it in the morning if you didn't get it electronically. I think some of them are coming through. Okay. This is the starting point for the City Council. This is a proposed budget that begins your discussions. There will be 2 meetings next week on the 10th and 11th at 5:30 in the large conference room here in City Hall, where the council will go through that budget, and they'll develop a proposal which will come back and be adopted in September of this year. The budget includes, as was kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, with Apprentice Street Lift Station. That's a large project that we have slated for 2017. As was mentioned at the noon meeting today, talked a little bit about the Northeast Electrical Substation. That's another large project that's on the horizon for next budget year. And then also we would have the completion of the Prentice Park Pool and the construction of the basketball courts, or another large community, very visible to the community project that would be taking place in 2017. There's a whole host of other projects that are also included in the budget, but those are a few of the larger ones that I think might garner a little bit more attention that way. So at this point in time, I think you just asked to, do you think they need a motion, Mike, to accept the budget proposal?
Now we receive the budget.
So if the council feels that they want to accept this document, that'd certainly be it. I would have just had one other comment. This doesn't happen. This isn't me sitting down with the calculator putting this together. This is a lot of hard work by our department heads. Andy, Mike, Jen, and Derek have played an instrumental role in getting this document to where it's at today. And then the council is going to play a huge role in getting the document to the next step in the process for the community. So be happy to answer any questions, but you probably haven't had a chance to read it yet.
Doesn't Andy have to stay through this?
If that's part of the motion, then that's that's your call.
Somebody make. Motion and second to approve the presentation of the proposed budget. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 8F is a work order for survey for proposed shared use path repair options. Jose, please.
Thank you. Currently, a portion of the shared use path between 12th Street and the west terminus has fallen into the river, a couple pieces anyways. Because of the missing portions and dangerous conditions, the trail was closed back in 2012. A section of the trail was actually reopened back in 2014 after it was reconstructed. This portion that was reconstructed was on the east side of 12th Street between 12th and the dog park. The repair and the reconstruction was originally scheduled to occur in 2017, or it was actually originally planned to happen in 2016. Now we're planning on it occurring next year. However, this is going to be depending on conversations that we have with adjacent property owners regarding easements, as we have to acquire some to place the shared use path. This work order will allow Banner Engineering to complete the survey and prepare plan sheets showing the options connecting the 12th Street area all the way down to the west terminus. And the work to be covered, it's actually described within the work order in detail and the attached scope of services provided by the DOT. The scope of services also has a deadline of January 7th, 2017 for the project. The costs associated with this will be paid by the DOT through the federal grant received by the city in 2006. The cost for this work will be $3,300. Administration recommends that the City Council approve and sign the work order for the survey work along with the proposed shared use path.
Thank you. Jose, comments or questions from anyone in the audience? Seeing none, Council? Motion is second to approve the work order for survey for proposed shared use path repair options. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item 9A, a bid opening for SCBA equipment. And Jose, please.
Thanks. The city received an assistant to firefighters grant in July 2016. The grant amount was for $149,715. The grant was intended to assist fire departments in protecting the health and safety of the public. The city will utilize this grant to purchase a new self-contained breathing apparatus, or SCBA, used during firefighting. Bids were opened today at 2 o'clock. The city sent bid specifications to 4 suppliers. The city received 2 bids. The low bid was from Feld Fire for $148,286.11. The high bid was for $152,875. The bid included the base bid of 25 45-minute rated SCBAs with a spare cylinder for each SCBA, 43 face piece assemblies, and the bid alternate number 1 for 5 spectacle kits. Bidding is required by state law when the estimate cost is expected to be over $50,000. The original estimate for this work these materials was to be $150,000. The city will be asking for an additional 5 spectacle kits. Each spectacle kit is $44, so the bid would be raised from $148,286.11 to $148,506.11. The System to Firefighters grant requires that the city provide a minimum 5% matching fund. This means that the city will receive $149,715 for the grant and will provide the remaining $7,485 as a match. Funding is available in the second penny fund to provide the local 5% match that is required. Administration recommends awarding the bid to Fell Fire for $148,506.11. Again, this includes the base bid and 10 spectacle kits. If awarded, staff would issue a purchase order for the recommended amounts. If there's any questions specific to the material, I would ask that you probably ask the chief, since he'd probably be more familiar with actual use of the equipment than I would be. But anything else, I might be able to direct to somebody else.
Thank you. Thank you, Jose. Any comments or questions from anyone in the audience? Anything at all? Seeing none, council? Okay, go ahead, council. Motion is second to approve the bid for fire department SCBA. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you. Item B is fuel quotes. Mike?
Should see a fuel quote sheet. I guess it's on your monitor or list in front of you. Quotes were requested today, the first being from Stern Oil for unleaded gasoline, $1.75.66 cents. Unleaded gasoline regular, $2.01.02 per gallon. Number 2 diesel fuel dyed, $1.50.92 cents. Number 2 diesel fuel cleared, $1.81.57 cents. Second quote was from Brunick's Service on item 1, $1.77. Item 2, $2.02. Item 3, $1.56. Item 4, $1.87. Stern Oil was low on all 4 items.
Council? Motion is second to accept the low bids from Stern Oil. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item 10 is City Manager's report. John, please.
Thank you. Just a couple of items. The public hearing to review the malt beverage markup, that's part of your ordinance that we have that annually. That'll be part of the 2017 budget adoption, and this year will take place on Tuesday, September 6th. Just a reminder that Market Street will be closed from West Main Street south for half a block and also Main Street as it abuts Radigan Platts this Thursday, August 4th. For Thursdays on the Platts. The closing is from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. As was referenced earlier, the 2017 council budget work sessions are Wednesday, August 10th and Thursday, August 11th in the large conference room at 5:30. Just a reminder that glass cannot be placed in the recycling drop-off container or trailers that we have around the community. We've had a couple occasions where glass has been placed in there, and that contaminates the recycled product that we have in there, and it's also a hazard for the employees. We're happy to recycle glass for individuals and families, businesses. We just ask that they bring it to the recycling center on Crawford Road. And then finally, as a matter of entering things into the record, several plats which are approved by the city engineer, which don't have to go to the city council for approval. We have several of those to report. One is Tract 1, Mounts Edition in the northeast quarter of the northeast quarter, Section 5, Township 91 North and 51 East. Lot 10, Block 2, Bliss Point Edition. Lot 11, Block 6, Bliss Point Edition. Lot 12, Block 6, Bliss Point Edition, Lot 1, Block 1, Bliss Point Edition, and Lots 15A and 16A, Block 34 of Snyder's Edition. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, John. I might just encourage all of us, including any in the audience, to note that they might have had a change in their pickup day for recyclables. And so you might check the card that might have come, like I know in my area, it's switched from Wednesday to Tuesday, so I don't know what else might happen with others. With that, thank you, John. Next is the invoices payable, and I'd appreciate if you take item 1 and then item 2 separate.
Approval of item 1. Aye.
Motion is second to approve item 1. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Mike, I recuse myself on that one. Item 2. Motion and a second to approve item 2. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Rich would recuse himself on that. Anybody then want to take on the rest of them? Any questions on any of them? Mike, could I ask you about 131? I'm just not familiar with PCC.
PCC is the company that handles our ambulance billing.
Okay.
And so they get paid a commission based on the collections.
I just didn't have any clue what that was representing. Okay.
Move to pay our bills. Second.
Motion is second to pay the remaining bills. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Consensus agenda, we have 3 items. A, set a public hearing date of August 15, 2016 for package off-sale malt beverage and South Dakota farm wine license for Casey's General Store number 3525 at 1302 Princeton Street. Item B, set a public hearing date of August 15, 2016 for a special permit to exceed permissible sound levels by no more than 50% for the University of South Dakota on Market Street south of West Main Street from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Thursday, August 25, 2016 for a DJ as part of the Welcome Back Bash. And item C, set a public hearing date of August 15, 2016 for a special daily wine license for Vermillion Downtown Cultural Association for Coyote Twin Theater on or about September 12, 19, 26, and October 10, November 14, and December 12, 2016 at 10 East Main Street. Motion and approval, second to approve the consensus agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries, Steve. Motion is second to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. We adjourn. Thank you all.